Welcome to your ecology exam. So this is the read aloud. Like usual, I'm going to read aloud the questions for you. You can pause the video as you're answering, unpause it, and we'll move on to the next question. For this quiz, like all the others, you may use your notebook that you've been taking notes in. Canvas tracks a log of websites you visit while the quiz is open. If you have your electronic notebook open, it'll show me. It will also show me if you're getting on Google to Google the questions, which is not allowed. So please just use your notebook as a reference. Be sure you're only using your notebook as a reference. See, so important that I had to say it twice. I'm going to post the read aloud when it's finished right here, so you'll be able to access it right there. I'll also send it to you via email. So without further ado, here we go. Question number 1. Consider the food web. You've got grass, rabbit, mouse, grasshopper, frog, hawk. Where is the largest amount of energy found in this food web? The grass, the rabbit, or the mouse? Question number 2. The diagram below shows a food web for an ocean ecosystem. We've got algae, limpets, octopus, shark, human, phytoplankton, zooplankton, fish, seagull, and oysters. How would an increasing shark population most likely affect this ecosystem? The seagull population would decrease, the octopus population would decrease, the limpet population would decrease. Question number 3. Which is the best example of a community responding to an external factor? Elephants use their tusks to dig the salt needed in their diets from the wall of a cave. Or, plants and animals thrive on the forest floor after they fall off a white pine causes an opening. Let's start that over. Which is the best example of a community responding to an external factor? Elephants use their tusks to dig the salt needed in their diets from the wall of a cave. Or, plants and animals thrive on the forest floor after the fall of a white pine cedar causes an opening in the canopy. Question number 4. Which represents a short-term storage for carbon? Coal formed from plants that lived long ago. Or carbohydrates stored in fruits and vegetables. Question number 5. Matter cycles between the environment and living organisms in a complex web of interactions. Which organisms provide for the most important link in box A from dead organic matter to matter from the environment? Dead organic matter, A, matter from the environment, producers, consumers. Which organisms provide the important link in box A from dead organic matter to matter from the environment? Autotrophs, decomposers, photosynthesis. Question number 6. An energy pyramid is illustrated below. Which statement best explains the flow of energy as it moves through the different levels? Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 4. Which statement best explains the flow of energy as it moves through the different levels? Energy increases as it is gained from the environment, or energy decreases as it is lost as heat to the environment. Question number 7. Mountain pocket gophers are native to Nevada. Which activity of the gopher transfers energy from one trophic level to another in its ecosystem? Digging burrows to live in, eating the roots of many plants, or storing food underground. Question number 8. The organisms shown live in the same habitat: spider, snake, hawk, mouse, grass clump, toad. Which best describes the exchange of energy between the organisms? One organism obtains energy from the environment while the others obtain energy by eating other organisms. Or, One organism obtains energy by eating other organisms, while the others obtain energy from the environment. Question number 9. The diagram shows some organisms in an Antarctic food chain: sun, algae, krill, cod, seal, whale. Which best describes the role of krill in the food chain? Krill. Decomposers, producers, primary consumers. Question 10. What impact do resources such as sunlight and water have in a forest ecosystem? 1. They limit the carrying capacity of the ecosystem. Or 2. They increase habitat areas for new organisms entering the ecosystem. Question 11. The pie chart illustrates the proportion of various gases in the atmosphere of Earth. Gases in the atmosphere: Z, X, Y. Based on what you know about the composition of the atmosphere, as discussed in our cycles lecture, which gas is wedge X? Carbon, nitrogen, or hydrogen? Question 12. Which organisms contribute most to the decomposition of dead organisms? Bacteria, viruses, or snakes? A jetty is a structure that projects into the sea. Two types of jetty constructions are shown here. What difference in these jetties would most likely make Jetty B better for native fishes? Jetty B allows for more light into the water, or Jetty B provides more places for organisms to live. Question number 14. The nitrogen cycle is an important cycle found in ecosystems. Nitrogen is used by living organisms to produce a number of complex organic molecules. Most of the nitrogen is found in the atmosphere, where it exists as a gas. Here's the nitrogen cycle: atmospheric nitrogen, atmospheric fixation, nitrates, absorption for plants, application of fertilizers, lightning, industrial contamination, bacteria fixing the nitrogen, fixation of underground water, nitric oxide, denitrification, garbage, vegetables, and dead animal organisms, ammonia, nitrates. Nitrogen is made available in a useful form for animals in the plants they eat, fertilizers they absorb, or air they breathe. How does the energy in each trophic level of an energy pyramid compare to the energy in the preceding level? It is about 5% of the energy from the level below it. It is about 15% of the energy from the level below it, or it is about 10% of the energy from the level below it. Question 16. In a tropical rainforest, shrubs and plants grow better in areas where a canopy tree has fallen. Which most likely occurs in the area where the tree falls that helps the plants and shrubs grow taller? A decrease in the amount of rainfall, an increase in soil fertility, a decrease in competition for sunlight, an increase in herbivore population. Question 17. Field mice are the primary food source for the horned owl in an area. Due to a drought, many field mice are left in the area. Field mice are the primary food source for horned owls in an area. Due to a drought, many field mice left that area. What result would this drought most likely have on the horned owls? The horned owl population will increase in the area, the horned owls will change to a plant-based diet, or the horned owl will follow the field mice to a different area. Question 18. An aquatic food web is shown below. We've got algae, mayfly nymphs, water fleas, snails, trout, frogs, snakes, birds. If acid rain causes a decrease in the number of mayfly nymphs, which population would decrease the most in numbers? Frogs, algae, or water fleas? Question 19, and the beginning of your extended response questions. Question 19 asks, 200 rabbits and 50 foxes live in a certain meadow without damaging the meadow. A decrease in last year's a disease in the last year killed over half of the foxes living in the meadow. Explain how the changes in the fox population will most likely affect the rabbit population. Point breakdown. 1 point for explaining the relationship between predator and prey. 1 point for correctly identifying the change in the rabbit population, and 1 point for using complete sentences, correct spelling, and proper grammar. Question number 20. Explain why decomposers are vital or important part of an ecosystem. Point breakdown. 1 point for explanation, 1 point for using complete sentences, correct spelling, and proper grammar. Please list in order from smallest to largest the ecological hierarchy. 6 points for this question. Question number 22. Ms. Backover is sitting with Finn the flytrap writing this test. Classify the living organisms in the room using the ecological hierarchy. Explain why you chose that classification. Point breakdown. 1 point for classification, 1 point for explanation, and 1 point for using complete sentences, correct spelling, and proper grammar. Final question. Question number 23. Explain why I can make the claim the sun is the ultimate source of energy. Point breakdown. 2 points for explanation, 1 point for using complete sentences, correct spelling, and proper grammar. Okay guys, this is the end of your test. I hope you did well. Submit it and wait for feedback.